The Utah Jazz got Ace Bailey, Walter Clayton Jr., an incredible draft night for the Jazz, plus some other things. What does this mean for Utah? What does it mean next season? What's going to happen? It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys. So I have to just start this off. In fact, I got headphones on. You know what? Whatever. Let's just take these off. What an incredible night for the Utah Jazz. Unbelievable how this panned out. There were rumblings and rumors, and I had heard whispers and this and that Utah liked Ace Bailey. It was clear they also liked Jeremiah Fears. They had multiple workouts with Jeremiah Fears. They tried to get Ace Bailey in, but all the reports were that they did not. And oh my goodness, they go for it. You've got to give so much credit for the Utah Jazz, to make the pick that no one expected them to do except them. And they did it. And it is just, there's so many things I'm happy about it. Let's just get into it. First, this is the type of pick that the Angels, I'm so glad the Angels are in charge for being there and making this pick, because there are other GMs that wouldn't make it. Look at the Charlotte Hornets. They don't make this pick. They didn't. Look at the Philadelphia 76ers. Jobs on the line. They did not make this pick. There is a world where Ace Bailey completely busts, and maybe he doesn't figure everything out, and maybe he just doesn't have the right mentality and whatever. The shot doesn't come around. The decision making's bad. There's a world where that happens, and he just busts, and it is what it is. There's also a world where Ace Bailey figures it out, makes better decisions. He defends at an elite level. He becomes a better passer. I don't know if he's ever going to be like an elite playmaker. I mean, never say never. His passing got better as it went on at Rutgers. And there's a world where he becomes a top 10 guy and Utah gets their stud, you know? So he probably has one of the widest ranges of outcomes. There's like, he could be out of the league in 4 years. He could be a top 10 player. There is a huge variance of what he could become. But like I said, you've got to be so grateful to have the Angels here where they're saying, you know what, we're picking him. And, you know, here and there, I get so scared. I hear things, I have people that will say, I don't know. I hear things. And I was so scared before this draft that Ryan Smith was going to not make something happen or make some sort of trade. And there were rumors about Jaylen Brown, which, by the way, Austin Ainge came out and said those rumors are completely false. And they seem stupid to me. I mean, Desmond Bane goes to Orlando for 4 first-round picks, and people were saying the number 5 and John Collins and Colin Sexton for Jaylen Brown, a finals MVP, likely going to be an all-star in the East with how many injuries there are. I was like, that doesn't make sense to me. We really think that's going to happen? No. And then Austin Ainge came out and said that was not what's going to happen. So Utah gets their ace. Christian House money to Haas. How first off, I'm exhausted. I'm running on adrenaline. I was up till 2 a.m. writing for SLC Dunk last night, just writing articles. I was waxing I don't know. I was just hoping the Jazz would not do something crazy and for it to work out like it has. I mean, I shared on SLC Dunk last night, but Christian House money, 46 months. You're incredible. Thank you so much for your guys' support. KG10 to TH5, Art Vandalay, Molly Pond. Thank you guys for being members and supporting. But I was thinking about that scene. I was watching Moneyball actually yesterday while I was writing, because I just was like, this is one of my favorite movies, and I love the messages of this film. It's not a baseball movie. It's a movie about faith and determination. And that scene where they go for it with the on-base percentage and they say, this is what we're doing. This is how we're going to win. And things don't go perfectly to start. And Utah had a similar moment last in the lottery a month ago. Things didn't work out just perfect. They did everything they could to get that number 1 pick and then ended up with the 5th. And just like Billy Beane, Brad Pitt in that scene where he tells, I forgot his name, the assistant that he brings on, and he says, we're going to shake things up. And he's going to trade that rookie Pena, who has a chance to be a rookie of the year, but he doesn't fit what they're doing. And his assistant, I forgot his name, but he says, you can't trade Pena. He might be a rookie of the year. He might be an all-star. And Billy Beane, Brad Pitt says, do you believe in this or not? Do you believe in it or not? And he says, well, yeah. Then they go for it. And I felt like that's what happened today with the Utah Jazz. You tanked last season. You lost games on purpose. You wanted to be top 3, preferably 1 and get Cooper Flagg, or 2 and get Dylan Harper. I think there's some things I got to be careful. But Utah is excited about Ace Bailey. I'll just say that. And I had some inklings. I had some things that made me go, you know what? And I was watching Charlotte. The one that made me so nervous was Charlotte, because they were the ones where it was like, if they just go crazy and take Ace, I'll be so disappointed. And it probably would have been fears at that point, guys. Just letting you know. That was what was likely going to happen. And they pick Con Knipple, and Utah gets Ace Bailey, and it was... I'm so happy, and I'm so grateful for Ryan Smith to allow the Angels to come in and make those picks. I'm excited and happy and grateful to the Angels who are saying, I don't care that you didn't come work out for us. They said after the fact that they talked to him, and Ace Bailey has said he's fine. He's happy to come. And by the way, Jonathan Givony gave some great quotes too that, and this was what I thought. I was like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. If he comes to Utah, he's going to be the guy. And we've got to talk about that too, because this is important. Because Utah has to make sure that they set this up right. Because if Ace is our ace, if he's our guy, then you've got to do what it takes to set him up to succeed, right? You've got to do this right. But I just want to say that I'm so grateful that Utah was willing to make that pick. They're not going to be bullied. They're not going to have loser mindset. There's so many fans out there sometimes that I just want to say, like, stop being loser mindset. Stop saying no one wants to be here. Stop saying everyone leaves. Stop saying that. You are no different than Oklahoma City. You are no different than Minnesota. You're no different than these other teams that don't have these sexy markets that people want to go to. You're no different. The difference is mentality and mindset and belief. Like Billy Beane in Moneyball. Do you believe in it or not? Do you want to win a title or not? Are you going to make picks because, you didn't hear the nicest things or whatever? No, we're here to win a title. And so we're going to make the right pick. And the right pick was Ace Bailey. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. They did it. Guys, they did it. Ah. And I was so proud of the Jazz. I'm so proud of the Angels. I'm so proud of Ryan Smith for doing the right thing. Don't be afraid. Don't make choices out of fear. Do the right thing. Believe in what you're doing. Now, Ace Bailey might not pan out. There's a world where it doesn't pan out. And that's okay. All of these picks might not pan out. To be honest, Cooper Flagg might pan out. The percentage chance that Cooper Flagg is incredible, very high. But then after Cooper Flagg, there's no guarantee that Dylan Harper is an absolute star. I think Dylan Harper is going to be amazing. But there's no guarantee. Con Knipple is probably the most sure thing to be a starter outside of Cooper Flagg, to be a starting level player his whole career and not bust. Like, at worst, Con Knipple is like Dante DiVincenzo or someone like that. He's going to be a good player. Now, there's a little bit of a cap on what I think maybe he can be. Some of the ways he made his shots in college, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that in the NBA, but maybe he'll be incredible. But Utah had every right to make this pick. There was no reason not to make this pick. What? That the agent doesn't have him visit Utah? So what? So what? We're in the NBA just like everyone else. What's the difference between the Washington Wizards and Utah Jazz? If Ace Bailey goes to the Wizards or he goes to the Brooklyn Nets, the Eastern Conference is an easier conference. So maybe there's a world where like he does a little bit better because he's playing against weaker opponents. But Utah, he will get a prime selection. He'll get prime positioning. He will have a chance to succeed here. Now, let's just get into that. Utah has to make sure they do this right. They have to trade John Collins. They have to trade Colin Sexton, because one of the things that Ace Bailey wanted is a chance to get those on-ball opportunities, right? I can't remember exactly what he said, but he wants to have the ball in his hands and he wants to have a chance to succeed. I think Jonathan Gavoni made a really great point about Reed Sheppard. The Reed Sheppard saga is a scary one, because Reed Sheppard goes number 3 to Houston last year and he disappeared for the whole season. There's people that probably wonder if he's even an NBA player, because he goes to the G League. He did not shoot it well and had a really rough season. You know, he had an incredible summer league, terrible season. Had a moment against the Utah Jazz. Why is it always against the Utah Jazz? It's always us. It's always us that people have their, like Dalton Connect hit 7 threes in one quarter against the Utah Jazz. Reed Sheppard ends strong against the Utah Jazz. It's always against us. But I gotta say, and Art Vandelay, you are right. And I tweeted it out. I waited a year and a half to make that tweet that I made on Twitter. The I won meme. The tanking worked. Guys, we do not get Ace Bailey if we do not tank. We don't get him because he was going to Washington. If Utah does not lose every single game they lost, they do not get him. He is in a Wizards jersey, and Utah's getting like Trey Johnson, or they're getting Jeremiah Fears. That's who they're getting, okay? That's who they were going to pick from rumors and everything out there. I mean, he was on every single mock, and those are because they hear things. If they didn't tank, they don't get him. Hands down. So it worked. It was successful. And in a weird way, the Philadelphia 76ers jumping helped Utah. It's crazy. Could you imagine? I mean, there's a world where Utah goes number 3 and they make the same pick. The same pick. Now, VJ Edgecombe, I love VJ and I think he's going to be awesome, and that there would have been temptation there. And, we'll never know if the Jazz make a pick of VJ Edgecombe over Ace Bailey, but something tells me that's who they would have wanted. I mean, it just makes so much sense. That's who the Angels have picked in Boston, and had it been successful, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum. In fact, you can probably compare Ace Bailey in a lot of ways to Jaylen Brown. Ironically, all these bogus rumors online with the James, tell your best dad joke. Don't throw me off. But all the rumors online about Jaylen Brown, ironically, Ace Bailey is kind of similar, because you remember Jaylen Brown came into his college season with just super high expectations and kind of struggled a little bit. It's actually really similar to Ace Bailey, really similar. And honestly, some of the comparables are pretty interesting. Like Jaylen Brown, his handle, and continued to be kind of an issue in the NBA. You hope that Ace Bailey kind of figures his handle out, but became a star. And Danny and Austin, and from everything they've said, it's Austin's pick. They loved him, and they were going to pick him, and I cannot believe he was there at 5. Thank goodness Philadelphia fell or jumped to number 3, and it wasn't the Wizards, and it wasn't, like, think about this. I kind of don't want to hear that the Jazz didn't have any luck again, to be honest. We're not cursed. The basketball gods looked down upon us, and they blessed us today, okay? Because we lost the lottery, and we still got Ace Bailey. We still got him. The way it panned out worked for Utah. We are not cursed, right? We're not cursed. We're not cursed. It's gone. Because we now have Ace Bailey in the Utah Jazz uniform. I think if I told every single one of you before last season started that we would end with Ace Bailey, everyone would be excited. Everyone, including myself. A lot of people had him too, and there were even questions at times where you're like, my gosh, this guy, he is going to be so fun to watch. And Salt Lake City Summer League is going to be amazing. Sorry, I'm rambling a little bit, but I wanted to make sure that's really clear. We don't get Ace Bailey if they don't do what they did last year. Now the Jazz have a piece to build around. If they get that top 8 pick next year, and let's just dive into this. Let's dissect a little bit. And we'll talk about Walter Clayton Jr. too, but they did it the right way finally. But now you actually got the guy. You got the guy. You need to treat Ace Bailey the same way you would treat Cooper Flagg had you got him, right? You can't screw this up. You can't be giving minutes to John Collins. You've got to trade him. And I know they're looking for trade partners. I'm surprised, honestly. I wonder if it takes 2 to make a trade. We'll see what happens. But they have to find a trade partner for John Collins. Have to find something. It's an expiring contract. I don't care what you get back. If it's whatever, you've got to move that contract because you have to give Ace Bailey the minutes. You have to start this thing off correctly from day one. You cannot... I mean, and maybe it'll happen. Maybe you have him coming off the bench, but is that really what you want to do with your potential star on your team? I tell you what, like you go back in the past with the Utah Jazz, the way things went, I mean, and Jerry Sloan was an incredible coach, but it wasn't a good idea to have Darren Williams coming off the bench. And that started things off bad. You knew he was going to be a stud right away. Why not give him like a runway to stardom? Utah needs to create a runway to stardom for Ace Bailey. And if that means keeping Lauri Markkanen, fine. If you're going to keep Walker Kessler, fine. Walker Kessler's not going to affect anything with Ace Bailey. But if you have John Collins on the team, if you have, Colin Sexton on the team, you have Jordan Clarkson on the team, if you have these guys getting minutes and they are getting time over Ace Bailey, what are we doing? What are we doing? The NBA has a finite amount of time with your window for you to have a chance at a championship. And if Ace Bailey is a top 10 guy, you have got to maximize his development now, and then in 2, 3, 4 years, if he's turning into an absolute superstar, you have to have him ready to go. And then you use picks and you build around him and you go for it because those windows can be short. I'm hoping Ace Bailey is on the Jazz for 15 years, and I honestly think there's no reason why he couldn't be. If Utah does this right, clears the deck and just says, this is Ace Bailey's team, then it's great. If you go into Salt Lake City Summer League, by the way, Salt Lake City Summer League is going to be a blast. I mean, Walter Clayton Jr., Ace Bailey, and don't forget Cody Williams. It's going to be awesome. And you've got to just do this right. This is just what I want. And I know that the Jazz are very worried about what I specifically want. No, they do not. But this is what I will tell them what I want, though, and it is this. I want you to give Ace Bailey all the opportunities to develop and grow and play hard. And you know what? I love the idea of playing to win. I just want to do it with the future. So trade John Collins, please. Trade Colin Sexton, please, for whatever. Maybe you can move into the second round and get like Rasheer Fleming. He's still on the board. There's some guys still on the board that look really interesting. Make the trades. Don't worry so much about getting just the absolute maximum 100 million% value for every player. To be honest, we should have traded Lauri Markkanen last year because he had an off year, and now it's harder to trade him if you want to give even more minutes to Ace Bailey, which I think you should really think about because Ace Bailey is going to struggle this first year. By the way, we've got to make sure we understand that. Now, maybe Ace Bailey comes in and it's just crazy and it's NBA spacing and he just plays incredible. That would be awesome. I would love that. But my guess is that he's going to struggle because we do know that he has some faults that allowed him to fall to Utah. Outside of just like the agent stuff and not working out for everyone, he does need to improve his handle. He does need to improve his decision making. He's got to improve his vision. Noticing when double teams come, he'll learn the Will Hardy offense, and he'll have time to just work with Will Hardy for years and years and years. And that's the other thing the Jazz have done really well, is that Will Hardy is locked in long term. And now Will Hardy has a player that he can develop. And this is big time stuff now for Will Hardy as well, because you've got a guy 6'9" with shoes, 6'7.5" without, whatever. 6'9" with shoes, 7 foot wingspan, athletic. He shows a lot of defensive potential, but that's the other thing about this that's exciting is if Ace Bailey comes in, and everything Ace Bailey is saying that is he's going to be a leader and he's going to play hard and he's going to try to get everything out of his teammates. What if Utah, by the way, the quotes from Ace Bailey are remarkable. He is going to say things every other week that are going to make me laugh. Like his quote about like them asking him about what he knows about Utah and just talking about hot and cold. I don't know. He's going to just be funny, and he has a personality that I think we can fall in love with. Now, I hope it all goes well, and I hope this is a long-term incredible relationship. Absolutely incredible. I hope so. I hope this goes well. We all do, and I think it will. The Utah Jazz have set up Will Hardy long-term to succeed. They have a front office that is willing to take risks, which is amazing. The Ainges, Ryan Smith, this is all set up. You couldn't really set this up to succeed better. They just have to make sure that the makeup of the team is now set up so that you've got a clear runway for Ace Bailey. We don't know, I guess, who they're going to pick tomorrow. I was kind of surprised. I thought maybe they'd pick Rasheer Fleming. Walter Clayton Jr., apparently he was awesome, and I really like that pick too. But anyways, that's my point. That's what they've got to do. Trade John Collins, trade Colin Sexton. And so next year, and I actually think that Walter Clayton Jr. might start. And Tony Jones made an interesting tweet. I don't know if he's going to delete that, but it was a good one. He said that no one on this roster is untouchable. These are Austin Ainge's picks. This is the new Austin Ainge team. And so Utah is starting out this new era, another one, with Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton. Now, I personally would love to see Taylor Hendricks get run with these guys. He didn't get to play last year because of the terrible injury. I know a lot of you guys are a little different than me. I'm not the biggest Walker Kessler fan because I know what he does well, which is block shots and offensive rebound. The effort sometimes is iffy, and that's frustrating. And maybe that's a product of losing games on purpose and things like that. So maybe Walker Kessler comes out and is just awesome. I'm not as big a fan as the consensus of Lauri Markkanen because the defense is just not there. It's really not good. And we've had enough time now where I just don't know if Lauri laterally can do it. We know he can shoot the ball, and he's got value. We'll see who wants to get him. But he shot 34% from 3 last year. So that sucks. Now, I'm glad he did. Because that helped us get Ace Bailey. But we'll see. You're lying, KG10. They were like, what does the Hoops Nerd want to do? It's like Monty. I don't know if you guys know who that Monty guy is, but I always laugh because it's always like, wait, someone asked Monty let Monty know what we're doing. Anyways, I don't know. And I don't know if there's any other thoughts. I think basically what I want to say, though, this is an incredible outcome for Utah. The tanking worked. Ace Bailey has upside that is top 10 player in the NBA because he's got the shot making, he's got the size, the length, and the athleticism to do it. And, that's the other thing is, and I kind of mentioned it, I think he has a personality that's going to be really fun. Like how Anthony Edwards is so fun in Minnesota, and he'll have quotes, and some of them are Some of the things, I don't know. But, like, it's going to be fun. I am so excited to watch him play in Salt Lake City Summer League. It's going to be all eyes on Utah. Honestly, Utah gets so much, like, unnecessary, and I guess sometimes it's earned, by the way. Everyone be good. Be on your best behavior. All right? We got to make this work. So be good. But anyways, they're all going to watch. It looks pretty good. This has a chance to be just so magic and so amazing if it works out. And I'm so ready to just fall in love with this guy and just have him be my guy. I'll defend him to the death. I'll fight Zach Lowe. I'll fight whoever. I'll defend him to the end. Kevin O'Connor. But all these guys are saying he's a great pick. I am so excited to listen to the reaction from the national guys tomorrow. I think Utah had an incredible draft. All right, so it's not just Ace Bailey, but Utah also selects Walter Clayton Jr. And I was a little surprised, but I like the pick. Utah, obviously, according to Austin Ainge, they really liked him, and he was one of the guys they had looked at 2 or 3 weeks before, and they clearly did because they traded up to get him. They go from 21. I think Miami had number 20, so they must have been worried that Miami was going to pick him at 20, which makes sense. Yep. In fact, the mocks had Clayton Jr. at Miami at 20, and Utah obviously really liked him. I like the pick a lot. He's obviously a little older. He's a senior. He's 6'2" barefoot, I think. I'll look that up really quickly. Combine measurements. I think 6'2". Yep, 6'2" barefoot. Woo! Made right. Got that 6'2" on the dot. But that's 6'3 and a half, 6'4" with shoes. He might be awesome, and he might not. But the stats from Walter Clayton Jr. are pretty eye-opening. To welcome Bailey, change the landmark name to the Ace is the Place Monument. Absolutely. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware. If we got to get some hardware at the championship, right? Ace is the place for helpful hardware from the NBA. Thank you so much, KG10. That is so generous. $5. Thank you so much. You might have to change your name there, KG10. KG10, it might have to be, what is it? WCJ to AB or something like that. Anyways, his numbers are eye-popping, like 85% from the free throw line, something like that. In fact, let's just look at it. Walter Clayton stats. They're great, and we know what he is. He's an absolute winner, like wins the national title this year, 4-year senior. He didn't start much his first year. He was at Iona. He transfers from Iona his second season to Florida, 17.6 and 18.3 points per game. He basically, once he started in his sophomore season, became awesome. He shot 95% from the free throw line his second season at Iona. That was when he was a sophomore. It's interesting. You kind of want to look at those sophomore stats. 45% from the field as a sophomore, 47% from 2, and 3-point. He shot 43% from 3 as a sophomore. Now, he goes to the higher league, goes to Florida. The stats stay mostly the same. 43%, so 2 percentage drop from the field. 36% from 3, tougher league, but still hits 36%. 38% his senior season, and was absolutely just hitting big time shot after big time shot to win the national title. Just absolute cojones. The guy is awesome, super clutch. That Utah needs a clutch guy, and they need a winner. And I tell you what, him being a senior in a lot of ways is pretty great. And I have a feeling, I don't know, I'll have to watch some interviews and things like that. I don't know what reports, obviously, the Jazz do. But I get the feeling this guy is a leader, which is going to be big time as well. Utah just has not had kind of that, Lauri Markkanen's a great guy. I don't know if Lauri Markkanen's a guy that's going to lead you and go tear the heart out of someone on the other team. Walter Clayton might be that guy for Utah, might be that leader they need. Who knows? Maybe it's Ace Bailey. Who knows? But Utah just has not had a lot of dogs, right? Just not a lot of like, we're going to go and tear this team up and win this game and stomp on their backs, right? Utah just hasn't had that. They might have that now in Walter Clayton Jr., and that's what I like about it. And maybe Ace Bailey as well. Now, Ace Bailey, I mean, I can tell you what, guys. There's a world with NBA. I'm so excited about Ace Bailey. I have, Christian, I need to do more of it. I have actually done that. I need to make new characters for Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton Jr. I need to do that. Actually, that's a great idea. It's just time. But Ace Bailey did not go to the rim very much. If Ace Bailey gets his handle right and drives to the rim and starts getting free throw looks, and if he improves his like decision making, and let's say he gets to like 3 or 4 assists per game, oh my gosh, you've got yourself an absolute stud. I can't wait. And Walter Clayton Jr., I mean, Utah is going to be so fun. To watch Walter Clayton Jr. and Ace Bailey in Summer League is going to be phenomenal. Oh, dad hats. Okay, maybe I should. I'm excited. I think the picks were great. And Walter Clayton, when you look at the stats, it's not what I always get a little worried about with players that play 4 years or whatever, is that they just kind of learn how to beat college players, if that makes sense. And then they go to the NBA and you're playing against NBA athletes and they struggle. With Walter Clayton, he was like good from the get-go. He didn't get a start at Iona his first season, but even off the bench, well, I guess it wasn't the greatest, but he played from that sophomore season on. He starts like every game except for one, so it must have been injury or something. It was awesome. So, there's no like drop off. That's a really good sign. I'm kind of over the moon, guys. I think this was an incredible draft for Utah. They just got the guys they wanted. They were brave enough to make the pick. They have an organization that is in the best spot it's been in a long time. And I hope that they clear the deck so it's all the young guys. Like my starting unit next year, I kind of would love to see, I mean, who knows whether, I'm guessing Walter Clayton Jr. starts. Maybe it's Isaiah Collier, but I think they're going to let them play it out and see. I think it would be really fun if it's Walter Clayton Jr. I hope they trade JC and Colin Sexton and let the young guys run. Got to give Keontae George another year at the 2, but if he's not moving the ball within the offense, then you got to send him on the bench. If he's not playing defense, then it is what it is. But maybe it's something like Walter Clayton Jr., Keontae George, Ace Bailey, and then honestly, I would prefer Taylor Hendricks to start. Let's go see what we can get. I heard someone, I think it was Kevin O'Connor, just putting the idea out there, but what if you get 3 or 4 first-round picks from the Indiana Pacers who are going to try to survive next year, although they might tank, who knows. But maybe Indiana would love Lauri Markkanen and can give the Jazz a big-time offer, and you can get like Jarris Walker. And then all of a sudden, you've got yourself a really interesting team of like Ace Bailey, Walker Kessler, Taylor Hendricks, Walter Clayton Jr., maybe Keontae George. I don't know. Who knows? But then Utah is primed to get another star next year. The draft next year is incredible. I cannot believe that Cam Boozer is number 4 slated in that draft. Behind like Nate, I think I was looking at Nate Ament. He might, I don't know. We all know AJ DeBonsa next year. If you get Ace and AJ DeBonsa on the same team, we will win a championship. Ace will bring us some hardware. Let's go get AJ. I absolutely agree, Jace. Let's let AJ play. Let him take his lumps, make his mistakes, whatever. Figure it out. Maybe you can even try to get Ace Bailey. Why can't the Jazz go and get Ace Bailey the Rookie of the Year? Right? Why can't you set that up? They should do that. They should absolutely do that. So, I think that's all I got, guys. It was a really fun night. Extremely successful, I would say. Utah has a stud in Clayton Jr. that they can potentially have as a starting point guard finally. That can hit shots and plays tough. I don't know if he's going to be an elite defender, but he plays tough and he's a winner and he's going to give everything he has. And then Ace Bailey has all the makings of a star. Let's just hope they don't bottom out. Now it is up to Will Hardy and the coaching staff and the Jazz organization to now, the work starts now, right? Now. Wouldn't it be incredible if Ace got MVP? Or not MVP. I mean, if he got MVP. But no, Rookie of the Year, I think he should try. Why not? Who's he going up against? I guess Cooper Flagg. Dylan Harper's going to get a lot of run, but even Dylan Harper is up against like Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox. Utah just has to set Ace Bailey up to succeed. So what an incredible night for the Utah Jazz. Super successful. I could not be more happy. It's so great. All right, guys, I want to give a shout out to the All-Stars. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. All the members are incredible, and especially the All-Stars. We got the Ace All-Stars now, baby. Let's give a shout out to Baby Elliott. Oh, we got to hit the music. Hit the music. I almost forgot. Let's go. I'm so happy. Guys, I hope you are too. This is so great. Things worked out. The tanking worked. Let's do it again. All right, let's give a shout out to Baby Elliott Madsen, Ryan Edward Perry, the legend, Christian House Money at a Haas, Robert Hall of Fame, Cam Bam, thank you, man, Cam Chin 3, I Believe in Steve, Jazz Exile, See ya, Lexalator, Jordan the Goat Best Roll, Austin R. Grant Editor Extraordinaire, KG10 to TH5, and Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur. Guys, next year is going to be so much fun. We got through the tanking year, the worst one. We got through it. Utah has a piece now. Utah has 2 pieces. And next year they're going into another incredible draft. Clear the deck, Jazz. Make the trades. It's Ace Bailey and Walter Clayton Jr. time. WCJ to AB, baby. Guys, like and subscribe to the channel. I will talk to you